that's one of the benefits that you get with almost a 2.5 million word book. As I said, there are books that are longer, so-called novels that are longer, but most of them are gimmick novels. They're sort of like if you've ever seen The Crap Art of Henry Darger. You know, he has a supposed 10 million word book. You know, he was this lonely janitor whose work was found afterward. And basically, there were pornographic drawings and cut-ups of little girls with penises or something. And so, and then you have like the Yaya book or some these books, and I quote a few from a few passages. Some of these super long books, so most of them are crap. I quote from Varney the Vampire, which was a serial novel written over about a 5 or 6 year period in the 19th century that goes about a million, 1.1 million words. I quote obviously Proust's Remembrance of Things Past, or uh, what is it called? The other version, In Search of Lost Time. That's like about 1.26 million words. So mine is about twice as long. So inevitably, you have to have that. Even if you took out the 900,000 plus words of the acid trip of Bit von Rheingold, you'd still have about 1.5 million words that are just pure narrative of what the people are doing. So you have them reading books. You have them sitting on the toilet. You have them thinking about things, memories, and the things come up, and the characters. You have to develop them. You have the luxury of having where you can take 5 or 10,000 words to just develop a scene about maybe Big Frank looking up at sneakers being tossed up on wires, or Bit von Rheingold doing one of his many dance numbers or something. And it gives you a sense of the character, so that when the character disappears for 150, 200, 300, 500,000 words and comes back, like Carla Maravelli, Carla Schmidt, she's gone for like a million or more words, maybe 1.5 million words from her first to her second appearance. But when she comes back, you remember her immediately because she's been so well developed in the first half or the first quarter, third of the book, where she's plotting with her lover to kill one of her female rivals, that when she comes back, 1.2, 1.5 million words later, and seduces and marries Paulie Maravelli, you know her. And so that's the way life is. And like, even though I could argue, and I've said before that I think my spy book probably has 300,000 words that are non-puerile, and I don't think there's a 300,000 consecutive words in this book that is equal to those 300,000 words. I can't do in 300,000 words what I do in almost 2.5 million. So there are different ways, and it's important to know that there are different ways that you can be great in poetry or any kind of art, or prose, or in film. Just as 2001 is great, and ineffably great, and arguably as great or greater than La Dolce Vita, people could argue, it's totally different. The approach of Kubrick in that is totally different from Fellini's, but they are both uber masterworks of their form. Just in the same way that you could say that about Moby Dick, or Tree Grows in Brooklyn, or Huckleberry Finn versus Don Quixote, although I think Finn is a bit better. They're both humorous works that are subversive about their societies. In this same way, I'm maximizing what I can do in 2.5 million words, and it's a totally different way to do that. The way that I can maximize 300,000 words, or even in my Western book, which I think is a great, great book too, which you'll read, which is only a little under 170,000. It's about 168,000 words. You have to maximize the genres. Doing this genre trilogy, which is the heroic trilogy, 3 different genres, you have to play off the genres. A Norwegian the Family, though, is a book that is part of a quartet, but in a sense it's non-puerile. It's not only non-puerile in terms of its length and sustained greatness here or there, but there's no book like that. I mean, it's a crime novel, but it's not really a crime novel. It's a crime novel in the same way Moby Dick is about whaling.